The first plugin I recommend for image compression is EWWW Image Optimizer. I mentioned it in plenty of my previous videos and I've done plenty of shorts around it as well. It's an all-round image optimization plugin which automatically compresses all your images as quickly as you upload them basically, but you can also bulk optimize all the images that you have uploaded to your site. So it does the best of both worlds. You can upload new images while also compressing old images. So it's great for new websites and old websites. By the way, it also supports a lot of image formats. So it supports PNG, JPG, GIF, and even PDFs, which is pretty amazing. Plus, it also has features like lazy loading and WebP conversion, which help you improve the performance of your website as well, because lazy loading is fast. And of course, WebP is very small image size. So it helps you improve the performance of your website together. So in short, EWWW Image Optimizer is an all-round plugin. If you just started a website, it's great. If you have an established website with a lot of images, it's great as well. And even the pricing is pretty good. You can start with the free version, but even the paid plans are very affordable, starting at $7 a month. In our testing, when we tested out EWWW Image Optimizer, we compressed the JPG image and the size was reduced to 118.3 kilobytes to just 64 kilobytes. That was 54.24 reduction in size. But for the PNG test, the plugin compressed it from 99.4 kilobytes to just 97 kilobytes, which was 1.9% reduction. So not great on the PNG side, but some other plugins on this list do better with PNG compression. So let's talk about them. So great performance on the JPG, but not so great performance on the PNG. Some other plugins on this list perform better with PNGs. So make sure to watch this complete video so you can understand which plugins perform better. And of course, let me tell you the pros and cons of this plugin so that you can decide for yourself if it's a great fit for your website. For the pros, EWWW Image Optimizer automatically compresses your images as you upload them. And you can always compress your images that you already have uploaded in bulk as well. It supports a wide variety of formats, including GIFs and PDFs, which is unique usually. And features like lazy loading and WebP are also included, which also help you improve the performance of your website. And for the pricing, you have a free version and even the paid plans are quite affordable. For the cons, not many cons, but the PNG compression wasn't great, but that depends on image to image. So I would call it a one use case scenario instead of like a general perception. And some heavier images site might require a paid plan to use the CDN. So the CDN is not part of any of the free plans. You have to get to a paid plan if you want to use the CDN, but for small sites or small sites, it can suffice. The next plugin on the list is Optimol. And one of the advantages of Optimol is that it has a CDN backed service in all its plans. It does have a limitation with the amount of free traffic it'll give you. So watch out for that limitation when I talk about the pros and cons. But on the plus side, having a CDN, that means great performance on your website. Now, do keep in mind that setting up Optimol on your website might require a few extra steps compared to other plugins. For example, you have to create an account, you have to create a free API key and then connect your API key. And it might feel a little more technical for beginners, but it's not that complicated. You can easily do it even if you have no experience. A couple of cool features in Optimol is a very nice dashboard that allows you to tweak your settings easily, and one watermark feature which is quite unique to Optimol. So basically, if you're a photographer, if you copyright your images, or you just want to watermark your images, you can just use Optimol's and feature basically and connect or add a watermark to all of your images automatically. So that's a pretty cool feature that is quite useful for specific use cases if you want to. You can get started with the free version. It allows you up to 5,000 visits a month, which might be great for beginner websites, but not so great for heavy websites. But you can always upgrade to the pro version to get more features, which I'm going to talk about right now. Before talking about the pricing plans, let me give you a comparison of the performance of the plugin when it comes to compression. So when we tested out Optimol, the JPG test was for an image for 118.3 kilobytes and it reduced it to 64 kilobytes and gave a compression of 54.24% using lossless compression. And for the PNG test, it significantly worked better compared to other plugins that I mentioned, from 99.4 kilobytes to 41 kilobytes, a 64% reduction just using lossless compression. So even lossless compression is pretty good on Optimol. Let me tell you about the pros and cons of Optimol so you can decide if it's a great plugin for your website. On the pro side, you have a CDN, which is included as part of the free plan as well, which is pretty good. Having a CDN, that means great performance for your website, fast loading images, and great experience for your use as well. The second benefit of Optimol is the easy to use dashboard, which is pretty easy to use. Even if you're a beginner, you can absolutely understand how to use Optimol. So it's pretty easy to use. The third benefit is the watermark feature, which is pretty unique, and many of the other plugins do not have this feature. So if you are a photographer, you want to actually watermark images, this is the only plugin that can do it. On the con side, the setup process is a little challenging, or I would say compared to other plugins, you have to create an account, API key, but it's not too complicated in my opinion. The second downside is that the free plan is limited to just 5,000 visits a month. So that might be a deal breaker for some websites, because as soon as you hit the limit, you have to upgrade to a paid plan, which starts at $19 a month. So compared to EWWW Image Optimizer, it's a little pricey, but it does include a free CDN in the free version, which is also good. So based on this, you can decide which plugin is the best, but make sure to read or watch the rest of the video where I will discuss 3 more plugins that you can use on your website. The next plugin that you can choose to compress and manage images on your site is ShortPixel. Now, I would recommend it mostly for power users, but it's also affordable that most beginner websites can actually also use it. Watch the rest of the video so you can understand if it's a good plugin for you. So ShortPixel has all the bells and whistles. You can compress images as soon as you upload, you can bulk optimize previous images, supports all formats, but there's some advantages to using ShortPixel which make it a better choice for some websites. The first thing is that you can choose between lossless and lossy compression. So it gives you more control over how you want to compress. And the second part is compatibility. If you're an e-commerce store owner, it integrates very well with WooCommerce and even with WPML or WPML, which is a multi-language plugin. So if you have an e-commerce website which translates to multiple languages, then ShortPixel might be the best plugin on this list. In our testing, when we tested ShortPixel, the JPG test ran from 118.3 kilobytes to 72 kilobytes, giving a 39.3 compression in the lossless mode, which is comparatively not as great as other plugins. But in the PNG test, it compressed the PNG image from 99.4 kilobytes to just 36 kilobytes, achieving a 56% reduction through lossy compression. That's the big difference, because if you compare other plugins that I mentioned, they achieved lesser compression, but that was lossless. And here we're talking about lossy. So it's not an apples to apples comparison technically, but you can still get great results with this plugin. On the pros and cons of this, there are plenty, so let me talk about them. On the pros, you get a choice between lossy and lossless compression. That gives you more degree of control. It integrates smoothly with WooCommerce and WPML. So if you have an e-commerce brand, e-commerce website, then it might be a best choice. And it automatically optimizes, and it also backs up the original image. That's one setting that is, I wouldn't say it's unique to this plugin, but I want to highlight it here so that you can always save the original image, so you can restore it later if you want to. And the pricing is very affordable. It starts at just $4.99 for even higher usage. So it can be great for big websites if you don't want to pay a lot for image compression. On the con side, the free tier is quite limited. It just allows you to compress 100 images per month and still requires an API key. So if you have a very small website, you're a very small publisher, you can get away with compressing 100 images a month if you just write couple blog posts a week. But if you're an e-commerce website, if you want more limits, you will have to upgrade to the paid plan. But as I demonstrated and said, that it works very well with and integrates well with WooCommerce and other plugins. So the entry level price for $4.99 a month for higher usage is pretty affordable if you ask me, if you have a lot of images. The next plugin on the list is one of my favorites because it is lightweight, it's small, it's easy to use, and it has completely free tiers for unlimited images with a small condition. Let's talk about it. So the plugin I'm talking about is Resmush. Technically, it's a service and it's also offered as a plugin, so you can use it on your website. My favorite part about using the plugin is that it's very simple to use. You don't have to configure a lot of things. It's very straightforward. So obviously it offers the same features as other plugins. You can automatically compress images once you upload them. You can always bulk optimize the images you already have uploaded. And it offers a very simple, I'd say, a slider mechanism to just decide how much quality you want on the images. So you can say, hey, this looks good. I'm just happy with this. Let me just set that on my site. Now, if you compare it to some other features or other plugins I mentioned, it does lack some bells and whistles, not advanced features, but it does what it does very well. And the best part about this plugin is that it is absolutely free to use. The only condition is that the images before compression should be just under 5 megabytes, which I think is pretty reasonable. In our testing, when we tested Resmush, we did the JPG and PNG test. The JPG was compressed from 118.3 kilobytes to 78 kilobytes, saving 20.81% through lossless compression. So obviously you can change the slider around and make sure this is different, but 20% on 100 kilobytes images is pretty decent, but not as great as compared to some other images. For the PNG test, the PNG size was 99.4 kilobytes before compression, and it reduced it to 36 kilobytes through lossless compression, which is 56% reduction in size. So this is where it completely shines. PNG compression is pretty amazing on Resmush. If I talk about the pros and cons, there are many, so let's talk about them. First of all, the plugin is absolutely simple and free to use with automatic uploads or automatic optimization upload. So if you're a beginner, you don't want to mess up the settings, hey, just use this plugin. It's very simple to use. It provides an easy slider for controlling the quality, so you don't have to mess with settings that, hey, what's the quality like? Just move a slider around, you can get a feel of what image looks good, and it makes it simple for you to decide on a quality setting there. And there's no cost, so there's no budgets, there's no money to be spent. It's absolutely free. As I said, the only condition is the images have to be 5 MB or less before compression, which is pretty okay. And the cons, again, if you take it as a con, the image can or has to be under 5 megabytes. I don't think that's a con. Even as modern smartphone, if you take the highest resolution, would produce an image which is 6 megabytes, 7 megabytes. So regular images, if you download from stock websites, will reasonably already compress to below 5 megabytes. So it's not a problem. And the second con, if you have to say it, it offers less customization features compared to some other plugins. Now, you can take this as a con or you can take it as a pro depending on your complexity or depending on your skill set as a WordPress user. So take it however you think is fit, and then choose Resmush it if you like it for your website. The next plugin on the list is TinyPNG, which is technically an image compression service and also has a WordPress plugin that you can utilize. When I compare the feature set, it kind of like it's squashed in the middle of all things. There's some good things about it, some weird things about it, and some inconsistencies about the pricing plan, which I'm not sure. I'll just give you some details. So, of course, it has all the great features. You can upload images and it'll compress them automatically. You can bulk optimize the features. It also has features like preserving EXIF data. So it's important as a photographer if you want to sell images or you want to display images. If that's something useful, then you can use it. In terms of the test results that we did, when we did a JPG test, the 118.3 kilobyte image was compressed to just 118.1 kilobyte, just a 2% reduction. So we might have to run that test again, and I'll leave a pinned comment if we run the test again and if there's some difference, because 2% not so great. In the PNG test, when we compressed the image from 99.4 kilobyte, it was reduced to 34.3 kilobytes with lossy compression. So that's something to keep in mind. In terms of pricing, TinyPNG offers 500 images compressed per month for free. But do keep in mind that if you have multiple versions of the same image, which WordPress does automatically, this limit applies to a cumulative sum of all those images. So one image might be automatically not compressed, but resized to multiple image formats. So it might be the case that you think that you're getting 500 images for free, but you get just 100 image compressions. And this applies for all other plugins as well, which offer number of images compressed as a limit. So do keep the free limit in mind. In terms of pricing, that is where the confusion happens, because 500 images is free. But what about if you want to get more images? On the WordPress pricing page or the WordPress plugin page, it says that you can upgrade to a paid plan which offers you unlimited images. But when I went to the website, there it says that, hey, it's a pay per image compression plan, and there's a slider which you can use to estimate what's the actual amount going to be. So I'm not sure. I'll find out more details and leave a pinned comment or leave some details in the description. When it comes to the pros and cons, let's discuss some pros about TinyPNG. So of course, the compression on PNG is pretty good. JPG will have to run a test again because 2% might be just a glitch there. Maintains important data like copyright images, EXIF. So you can use it as a photographer if you want to have important data intact. And configuring the plugin is quite easy. You don't have to do much and it's very easy to use. On the con side, I would say the conflicting pricing information is something that I need to clarify, because that's confusing. Are you paying per image or is it unlimited images? What's the subscription plan? I'll probably sign up for a free account and give you more details and leave a pinned comment or leave something details in the description. And I think 500 images, considering all the different versions of the images you have on your site, is quite low in my opinion, but there are some other plugins that also offer just 100, 500 images. So that's not a huge con in my opinion. But I believe that with all this information, you have enough data about which plugin is the best for your website, for your particular use case. So once you've decided, let us know in the comments which plugin are you going to use on your website for image compression. And of course, watch some other videos here. And you're watching Yuvraj from WBeginner, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.